The IMOCAS 60 Alaka'i, in the TJV, will be the second team entered by 11th Hour Racing, and is sailed by professional navigator, Simon Fisher, and Swiss female sailor, Justine Mettraux. Simon, or SiFi, as he is known, has sailed in 5 round-the-world races as navigator, and Justine sailed with the all-female crew of SCA, and on 2 legs of the 2017-18 Dongfeng race team. Here they take the sailing world on waters Christophe Favreau, for a tour of their boat yesterday in La Harve. So let's take a look, and then see how they came second recently in the Defi Azimut.
Hey guys, so here we are on board that marvelous IMOCAS boat, and we're gonna start our tour with a general presentation of the deck. Justine, would you like to start to explain to the Aussie audience what is an IMOCAS boat and what are the specificities of this one?
Yes, so welcome on board the 11th Hour Racing 1. So this boat is an IMOCAS, it's the ex-Hugo Boss from the Vendée Globe in 2016. So a pretty good boat, and the big modification which has been done to the boat is to change the foils. So we have a new pair of foils from this year.
They look pretty massive from here.
Yeah, they're quite massive. They just respect the rule of this year, of the new IMOCAS rule on the size of the foils. And yeah, if you want, we can have a look at the deck.
Okay, just one last question about what's happening outside the boat. How would you define the purpose of the foil? How does it work on a boat?
So yeah, the foils do 2 main things, I guess, really. One is to create stability, so righting moment. So the faster we go, actually, the more righting moment we can generate, which means we can get a lot more power out of the boat. And then the other thing is obviously to reduce the displacement. So you know, you see these fantastic images of us flying, and actually, yeah, what we try to do is fly as high as we can, but stably as well. So yeah, when we're just out of the water going fast, it's yeah, we can generate a lot of power, a lot of riding moment, but also very, very low drag, which helps us to do some really good speeds in actually not that much wind. We can sail a lot faster than the wind speed when we get those foiling conditions.
I'm sure it's making the life inside interesting.
yeah. One thing it doesn't do is make the boat any more comfortable to sail, and yeah, it's interesting actually. You sail with a lot less heel with all the righting moment before you sail very upright. So there's not much heel, which is maybe nice in one way, but the downside is actually you do a lot of slamming with a hull, and when you're jumping in and out of the water all the time, yeah, it can be hard to sleep when you're sailing double-handed and the other person is on deck sailing fast. Yeah, sometimes getting rest is a bit of a challenge, but you know, we're here to race, so it's all part of the game.
So let's go inside and watch and try to see how comfortable it can be.
Let's do that.
Sure, let's go in. Starting here.
So here we are, pretty well protected from the rain here in Le Havre.
Yeah.
So how would you describe that space in the boat? What's happening here?
Well, this is where most of the magic happens, and as you can see from a normal, typical offshore racing boat, the big difference is we're completely covered up, and as these boats have evolved, they've become more and more protected. Actually, the rule drives the cockpits to be very low in the boat. We've worked really hard to lower the CG. But that also means that if we were not covered up, we'd be getting very wet, and you know, we'd get hit by all the water down the deck. So with the speed and the foils and the amount of water we get over the deck, everything's evolved to be very covered up. But that means we can actually sail hard and in relative comfort, I guess, and not so wet.
There's a massive amount of ropes coming from the front of the boat, so it's all coming there, and it goes on that winch here.
Yeah, so on this boat we have a central pit, so for sure all the halyards, a lot of stuff for the trim come back here, and we have also two winches on each other side for the different sheets of the sails. So yeah, it looks complicated like this, but after a few days you get used to it.
And is there some room inside, or is it a wide open space, or is it pretty narrow?
No, yeah, you can come in, and obviously this cockpit's a nice. Obviously, it was designed as a single-handed boat, but it also works well for crude racing. It's a good balance. Actually, having the winches kind of spread out a bit means a couple of people can work, and then you can sit here, control the sails and all the pilot functions, which is obviously very important.
Okay. Can we get inside shortly?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Here we are.
As we come down here, you see it's not massive, but when we race fully crewed with 5 people, it's a bit of a squash down here. But when there's only 2 of us and 1 person's on deck, you've got all this space to yourself. But I guess show you around a bit. I mean, right here we have the nav station. No comfy chair or big space to sit in. We actually put this right to where you're sitting now and sit in the pit, so we don't have to leave the cockpit to do any of the navigation work. And then as you look around, all of this is ballast tanks, so we can get almost a ton of water in the boat for extra stability. And sometimes we need it, and sometimes when we're sailing fast with the foil, we can drop it, and that's another sort of element of performance we work with. Our bunk's just out here for when we do get the chance to sleep. And then under these covers here, we have all the electronics, the motor, the water maker, and some of the other engineering systems on board. But it's all covered up and tightly packed to be around the center of gravity of the boat. So it's everything around performance.
Okay. And the sails are mostly at the front when they are not on deck for the balance and all that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. You can probably peer through into the dark front bit of the boat, and you can see that's our stacking area. In a lot of conditions, our sails are in the front, and then as it gets windier and wavier and more downwind, then we have to drag them all the way to the back of the boat.
Okay. So the Transat Jacques Vabre is a race that you're racing 2 people on board. How do you get organized to sail the faster you can, being 2 persons on board?
It's interesting. I think I've not done much single-handed sailing, or if any, but I've done a lot of crew racing, so this double-handed thing is very new for me. And I think it's kind of, for me, I feel like you get a lot of the thrill of sailing single-handed because you're on deck, on loan, managing the boat, but it's also great to have someone to sail with, to work with, be part of a team, and if you got backup, you got someone to share the experience with, and you also get the opportunity to rest because when you go down, you know someone else is sailing the boat. But on board we try and rotate. On the shorter races, you generally we sort of swap every hour. But I think in this longer race, when hopefully we can get a bit more of a rhythm, we'll do a few more hours, which allows each of us to stay rested. But we work hard on trying to keep each other fresh and just changing as we need to, and then obviously for all the maneuvers and everything, we're always both on deck.
And do you have any specific roles? I mean, is there someone that has a particular role compared to another, and a few specific skills that you're not sharing?
No, I mean we obviously can. Everybody, but the both of us can do everything. I guess because we came from doing our sailing on this boat originally as crewed, we sort of, I guess, filled out our initial roles on board. Obviously, I've spent a lot of my sailing career as a navigator, so I probably do a little bit more of the navigation. And when I'm doing that, Justine obviously sort of takes care of more of the performance stuff, but obviously we share the sailing of the boat. And then for the mechanics of the boat, I guess as well, we kind of split things up. Yeah. Justine very kindly agreed to do all the stuff on the bow, so I kind of do the stuff in the pit.
Right. So how many days do you plan to race during that Transat Jacques Vabre? How long is it supposed to be?
This year it's a longer race than before, because we go all the way down to Fernando de Noronha and then back up to Martinique. So the course is 5,800 miles, I think, and it should take us about 16 days. So it's a good long race.
Okay. Okay, guys. So we wish you good luck. Thanks for the tour. Thank you so much, and have fun. Hopefully there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We've only got 20 seconds, so we are racing from here, okay? Okay, tracking in 3, 2.
Don't go too fast, second.
Guys on the left look light, so happy going this way right now. We got a little jib tap as well.
Yeah.
Settle. Very nice, and then in 3, 2, 1. In there. We've jumped the first hurdle, which is a nice little beat up the shore in the sea breeze. The sea breeze was, yeah, I guess in line with the windiest of models. So we've actually made good progress off the coast. But now it's about racing offshore and getting to the ridge of high pressure. So as we come offshore, it's going to get a little bit lighter for us. The wind should also lift as well. So we've been trying to sort of position ourselves so we're a little bit bow forward, racing offshore into the lift. But also being careful that we don't want to be too far south to the guys, because hopefully the ridge crossing should be a little bit better in the north. So yeah, good wind at the moment. Going quite quicker against boats around us, and yeah, next stop the ridge. Yeah, it's good. Bit of torch action on Sam and Nico's back. Is it clear? Nice, great job.
It was gonna be like this, and yeah, forecast was pretty right. So at the moment we're downwind in a bit more than 20 knots, sometimes 25, a bit more. So it's good. We have a blue valley just in our back, and Afia heading down just in front of us. So it's good to be in that group, and we try to make the most of the rest of the race. So yeah, quite a lot happening tonight and this morning. Really tired with SiFi. SiFi is recovering at the moment, and it's gonna be my turn soon. Finally!
That's us.
Good job, perfect.
GG. Great work.
No, really happy to confirm the good race we did already in the Fastnet, and today it was on this race it was different conditions, more yeah, going through a cold front and then some windy downwind, so it's tough. We hadn't done yet. We didn't race perfectly, but I think Amphibia raced a bit better than us, but it was good. I think it was a tough race for everyone. A lot of maneuvers, a lot of sail changes, of reefing and so on. So we'll sleep well tonight with SiFi.
Yeah, really happy that we sailed well as a team. Juju did a great job pushing the boat hard, and we laid down some pretty solid pace at times. So I've not been doing two-handed sailing for very long, and we've not been sailing together very long either. So you know, the learning curve's still pretty vertical. Yeah, we always say if we can do all the sort of the small bits, then the result will follow. So to get second in this race is fantastic. Really good result, and yeah, hopefully good for the TJV. There's still some areas to improve, but yeah, really satisfying result.
Oh, you're better than me.
Nice work, team. Thank you, guys.
Be watching our website, www.boatson.tv, or the Boats on TV 2 channel, on YouTube, for our coverage, in English, of the Transat Jacques Vabre.